It was the first day of school. Melissa Lon had a needy toddler, a set of twins excited for kindergarten, a sick 9-year-old son and a teenager anxious for her first year of high school. Watch the video above. Bowel cancer is not an old man's disease. For more human interest related news and videos, check out Human Interest. I was busy, I was 34 and didn't have time to be sick, the Queenslander tells 7 Life. But by the end of the day, the mum of 5 was in the ICU on a breathing tube. I just had a funny tummy, she says, explaining how her ordeal began. I was tired. I was a healthy, young, fit woman. Honestly, I just passed it off as being a tired, single mum. In reality, Melissa had a tumor so large it had blocked her bowel, resulting in the mum turning septic. Spanning 26 centimeters, the mass was bowel cancer, a diagnosis that shocked Melissa. This whole stereotype that bowel cancer is an older male thing needs to go, she says. Tired single mum. When it comes to the first sign of Melissa's bowel cancer, she's ashamed she didn't seek treatment sooner. The silly thing is, I trusted my doctors, but it was just a bit embarrassing, she says. Melissa was having trouble passing wind without being able to control her bowel movements. At the time, I was also going through a separation, so I thought that maybe I was just stressed, she adds. The mum pushed the first warning sign aside and continued her busy life as usual. For 18 months, she buried her growing digestive issues and increasing fatigue. Until one day she vomited what she said resembled brown, grainy coffee grounds and ended up in emergency. Doctors quickly found she had a bowel obstruction and sent her for a colonoscopy. Things quickly snowballed, with the procedure discovering a 9 centimeters growth in her bowel, a mass that had grown a huge 4 centimeters since a scan just 2 weeks earlier. Specialists were concerned about the rapid growth and booked Melissa in for surgery. But she never had the scheduled operation, instead going into theater earlier, under emergency conditions. Emergency visit. As her kids piled into the car for the first day of the school year, Melissa began feeling very unwell. She dropped her daughter off at high school and the twins at kindergarten before heading home with her toddler and 9-year-old son, who had a sniffle. Back home, she watched as her son put on Paw Patrol, and she made sandwiches as her stomach began churning. But as her symptoms worsened, she knew she needed help. She phoned her mum to come and care for her children, before calling an ambulance. From her local hospital she was flown to Brisbane, with Melissa confessing her survival instincts kicked in. The last thing I remember was sitting in a hospital bed just blown out. I was bigger than I was when I was full term with the twins, she recalls. Surgeons uncovered the 26 centimeters tumor obstructing her bowel. With nowhere for her stool to move, the mum had turned septic and her lungs had collapsed. I remember waking up in intensive care. I couldn't talk. I had a breathing tube, Melissa says. I just kept thinking this wasn't part of the plan. Melissa spent 4 weeks in hospital and claims this close call was a huge pivot in her life. I am here now, but there is no guarantee for how long, she says. For the next 6 months, she was under close observation, but thankfully the cancer showed no signs of returning. Cost of life. Melissa has since thrown herself into raising awareness for bowel cancer after a so-called old person's disease nearly took her life. I remember lying in that hospital bed just wanting to make a positive impact. I didn't want this to happen to anyone else, she says. If she had sought medical attention sooner, she believes she wouldn't have ended up on death's door. The cost for early diagnosis is a lot cheaper than a later one, she says. Cancer simply doesn't care, so always speak to your doctor. For more engaging lifestyle content, visit 7 Life on Facebook. And finally, thank you all for watching the video. Please like and comment your opinion so we can discuss together. Don't forget to subscribe, press the bell to follow and update many other interesting news. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.